Once upon a time, there was a girl named Oma. She was a bright and ambitious young woman who had always believed in working hard to shape her future. Oma was a typical independent career woman. She believed that even if people disappoint you, your career would never do same. Most of her friends got married in their early 20s, and they had always teased her for being single at 30. Oma had served as a bridesmaid a lot. She had also been in multiple relationships that left her heartbroken, but she felt no rush to marry until she met Dapo online. Dapo's profile was perfect. He was wealthy, charming, and kind. His messages were thoughtful, his smile soft, and he gave her all the attention in the world. He knew the very words that made her get butterflies in her belly. Within weeks, their late-night chats turned into daily video calls. She thought things would fade within months, but 3 months down the line, they were still going strong. She thought he was one of those men that would request nudes and sex chats, but he proved her wrong. He seemed too good to be true. She kept this a secret because she thought telling people would jinx it, and she always looked forward to his calls. After 4 months, Dapo surprised Oma by flying in from South Africa to meet her. They were both so happy that they looked like their individual versions on social media, as most people usually say looks on social media could be deceptive. One sunny afternoon, while at dinner in an upscale Lagos restaurant, he knelt on one knee, presenting a diamond ring that sparkled like the night sky. "Oma," he said, "will you marry me and make me the happiest man alive?" Overwhelmed by emotion, Oma said yes. The restaurant erupted in applause, but as the applause faded, an old man seated in a corner muttered loud enough for Oma to hear, "Not all that glitters is gold." Preparations for the wedding began as soon as possible. Dapo insisted on an extravagant ceremony, promising Oma a dream wedding. They both used the best and biggest names in clothing, jewelry, event planning, and cake making. Their pre-wedding photos were on the biggest bridal pages in the country, and people were making plans to fly in from far and wide. It was going to be tagged the wedding of the year. Friends and socialites looked forward to it. But as the big day approached, strange things started happening. One night, Oma dreamed of a dark forest where a man who had Dapo's face stood by a river, calling her name. The river turned blood red as he whispered, "Do you truly know me?" She woke up gasping, only to find muddy footprints leading from her window to her bed. The next morning, Oma received an anonymous message on her social media page. "He is not what he seems. Be careful." When she showed Dapo, he dismissed it with a laugh, but his tone was sharp. His reaction left her uncomfortable. While visiting Dapo's Lagos mansion on one of the occasions, Oma's curiosity led her to explore the house. Dapo told her during their early days that he was from old money and he ran a profitable business in South Africa, but she always felt uneasy as he spent money flamboyantly. What kind of business would make one spend tens of millions every day, she wondered. On this fateful day, she found a locked door he had warned her never to open. The door was usually closed, but on that day, she noticed the door slightly open. Inside, she found the shock of her life. There was a shrine with photographs of women, all wearing bridal dresses. At the center of the shrine was a large, framed photo of a woman who looked exactly like her. Suddenly, the door creaked open behind her. Dapo stood there, his face shadowed. "You shouldn't be here. What are you doing?" he shouted. His voice lacked the warmth she knew. "Let's go shopping," he told her, dragging her out of the room. That night, Oma couldn't sleep. The woman in the photograph haunted her thoughts. Why was her picture framed? Why had Dapo lied about the room? Who were those women? Her questions spiraled, but she knew one thing. She needed answers. Terrified, Oma decided to investigate. She remembered hearing some mutters from an old man on the night of her engagement, and she went back to that restaurant. When she got there, the bartenders told her he came in on Thursdays mostly for fresh palm wine. The next Thursday, she drove out, on a journey to meet the old man who had muttered at the restaurant, hoping to meet with him. Luckily, he walked in, and she went over to him and introduced herself. He introduced himself as Elder Toby, a retired historian who specialized in ancient Yoruba rituals. Elder Toby revealed that Depo came from a lineage of men cursed to marry human brides to maintain their wealth. It had started from his forefathers, and all firstborn sons of the family were to carry out the ritual. If any failed, the repercussion would be disastrous. The brides were offered as sacrifices to an ancient deity, ensuring prosperity for his family. The shrine in his home was a tribute to his past victims. "You are his next offering," Elder Toby warned. "You must leave him before it's too late." Oma's heart pounded. Could this really be true? She decided to test Elder Toby's claims by asking Depo about his family history. When she brought it up, Depo's demeanor changed. He became defensive and angry. "Why do you keep questioning me? Don't you trust me? Have I done anything to make you feel you are in harm's way?" He snapped. "You're my bride, Oma. Focus on our future, not the past." Oma confronted Depo that night, her voice trembling but resolute. "Who are you really, Depo? What is that room I saw? Why are the pictures of other women and myself there? What are you hiding?" Depo's smile faltered, and his charming facade crumbled. "You were never supposed to know," he said, his tone low and dwindling. "But it's too late now." As he reached for her, the house seemed to come alive. Walls creaked, shadows lengthened, and whispers filled the air. Oma clutched the small charm Elder Toby had given her, chanting the protective incantation he taught her. The wall seemed to be caving in, and Depo screamed in pain, his body fading like a dying flame. Just as she thought she was safe, Depo's true form, a monstrous, shadowy figure, emerged from the darkness. Oma fled, her screams echoing through the mansion as she narrowly escaped. Oma fled the mansion, leaving everything behind. With Elder Toby's help, she performed a cleansing ritual to cancel Depo's hold on her. The ritual required her to spend 3 nights in a sacred forest, guarded by spiritual warriors. Depo attempted to stop her, appearing as a shadowy figure on the second night. The forest spirits protected her, but the battle between light and darkness left her emotionally and physically drained. On the final night, Oma faced Depo's spirit with all the strength in her, declaring her freedom and breaking the curse with her unwavering determination. Eventually, Oma returned to her normal life, wiser and stronger. She shared her ordeal with friends and women in her community, warning them to trust their instincts and question anything that seems too good to be true. She had learned her lessons. The wedding was called off, and even though all the blogs carried it, she was hailed as a symbol of resilience and self-worth. At the end of the day, it is better to be single and alive than married and dead, she said to herself. Depo's mansion fell into ruin, abandoned and overgrown with weeds. No one dared go into it. His name faded from memory, a reminder that deception and greed always meet their end. Nobody knows what became of his family afterwards. My besties, in whatever you do in life, always remember to trust your instincts. Our gut feeling is mostly never wrong. Remember that true love is built on honesty and not on secret and illusions. Never forget that greed and deceit would always come with consequences, but courage and faith would overcome even the darkest forces. I hope this teaches us all a lesson. See you on our next story, and please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you for watching.